Welcome everyone to another edition of the Comic Review. My name is Eric, and we're going to take aim at another review on one of the other Rebirth specials that came out this week on June 1st. So we're going to go ahead and dive into Green Arrow Rebirth #1. Let me give a full disclosure statement about Green Arrow. Pre-New 52, I really didn't keep up with Green Arrow at all. I mostly read Batman, Superman related books, read some Flash, Jeff Johns' run on JSA, and Green Lantern. So Green Arrow was never really a book I followed. I more followed him during the latter half of the New 52. I can't remember the issue numbers, but it was during the time they actually introduced John Diggle and Felicity Smoke to the book. I have been following the Arrow TV series, though I know that's not a true depiction of the comics by any means. So yes, that is my history right off the bat with the Green Arrow character. Like I said, I have been following the New 52 Green Arrow, and I actually hadn't read it for a while. I was very behind. I was collecting the Green Arrow book, very behind on the book from the standpoint of I think I left the last like 10 plus issues in my subscription box at the comic book store for probably about the last year. I did this past week binge read issues 41 through 52, and I do have to say, no slight to the writers, I believe Benjamin Percy was the writer of that, but I really was not that big of a fan of the storyline going through there. I just kind of felt like things were just happening to Oliver, and he was just there for a lot of stuff. I didn't really feel engaged with that book. That could be because I was binge reading the whole thing, but I also recently binge read Robobat's adventures in Batman from issue 41 to 52, and though I can kind of see how there would be more suspense in reading it month to month instead of everything at one time, I did enjoy that storyline more than I was enjoying the storyline in Green Arrow. So I was a little hesitant about this Rebirth special, seeing as how the writing team did not change whatsoever. However, I do feel like the take on Oliver, from everything I know of the character, through appearances in Justice League of America back pre-52, and just his appearances in other books and various things I've read online, it does seem like we're kind of getting back more into a more classic take on the character. So let's go ahead and dive into the actual review and see what happened in this issue. The issue starts off with Oliver talking about another failed date that he had to a waiter. He then leaves the restaurant and is approached by by a homeless mother and her child. He donates some money to them, walks off. We find out later on that the mother, the homeless child's mother, was kidnapped. Oliver, now as Green Arrow, goes and rescues the child during his attempted kidnapping. We know the mom's gone. The next scene then goes into the boy being that, like, I'm not sure about kidnapped or whatever. We'll find out in a second. But he is being walked away by somebody in a cloak over them, basically saying that he wants his mommy back. Oliver shows up in a new Green Arrow costume, which, yeah, we've got bearded Ollie back. Not necessarily in his Robin Hood outfit, but he's wearing a costume more like the TV show costume, except for he's got the beard now. I think this is a better look than the one from the previous costume he had, with the arrow coming off the side, only going up halfway on his costume. I was actually reading that whole entire series thinking, man, this costume looks stupid. But very much like the new look, the new costume, Ollie starts fighting with the hooded person to find out that it is Black Canary, and then, you know, she kind of makes a mentioning of, hey, I recognize you, but we don't know each other, kind of a thing. Black Canary talks about the fact that they've met once before, and I can only assume what they're talking about is the scene in DC Rebirth, which, if you haven't read that one yet, you can check out my review up here. But there's a scene in that book where they kind of glance at each other and meet very briefly during analysis of the crime scene of the death of the New 52 Superman. But as longtime DC readers know, Ollie and Black Canary had a prior relationship in the pre-Flashpoint world. They're actually married for a while. So these are two characters who had a very long history with each other, but during the New 52, this is literally their first meeting. They've, it was one of those, again, connections, relationships that was just completely lost during the New 52 era. And, not for the better either. I mean, I just don't understand in some ways what DC was trying to go with erasing some of those relationships. Even if you're trying to erase the marriages, or erasing just complete interactions and relationships, I still don't know why DC chose to do that. And for me, it was something, I'm going off on a slight tangent here, for me it was something that, like, you didn't notice. I didn't notice it actually until I was like moving, and I was going through short boxes, and I realized I'm flipping through some old comics and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, this person was with this person, and this person was here, and heck, there was a whole team of crime fighters from yesteryear that we don't even have anymore. It's just kind of like, looking for that. It's like, oh, we don't have these things, and it's kind of makes you sad when you realize, oh yeah, these things that we used to have are gone. This was one of those things that we just didn't have, was the relationship between Ollie and Black Canary. Though I believe she's going to be a main character in this book, so we are going to be getting some version of that relationship back. Now, whether or not all their time together is restored at some point, we'll find out hopefully about that soon. But it is nice that we're kind of seeing the beginnings of a relationship that we know should have been there all along. So Dinah kind of gives Ollie a hard time about being a social justice warrior, but yet he's living in this like large penthouse overlooking the city. And he's so far removed from the people on the streets and everything. So I know that's kind of one of the directions that they were going to go with. I know Benjamin Percy, I was watching, I believe it was something in DC All Access, where he didn't even feel comfortable about Oliver being this social justice warrior trying to fight for the little guy, but yet he's this billionaire playboy. So they're probably going to do some things I'm probably imagining that they're going to do some things that are probably going to take away Ollie's wealth again. So we'll just have to see how that goes. So Black Canary is giving Oliver a hard time about that throughout the issue. I think he even makes mentions of her being a rock star and this, that, and the other. So they go to look for the other homeless population that has been being taken. Recently, apparently it's a big trafficking ring that these people are disappearing off the streets. They head to the jungle, which is a homeless refuge in Seattle in the books, and when they get there to find out what's going on, they get bombarded by these what's called the underground, of these Morlocky looking zombie looking guys that are basically kidnapping the homeless population in the town. We find out that they are being auctioned off as slave labor, as concubines and whatnot. So Green Arrow and Black Canary find out where the auction's being held, and they stop it, and they rescue all the homeless people there. Green Arrow, Black Canary, they stop the auction from happening. They rescue the boy's mother as well as the others there. And then you kind of see at the end, when they're both, congratulating each other, you kind of get like the very first introduction between Oliver Queen and Dinah Lance. Again, meeting once again for the first time, kind of a thing. So, like I said before in this review, it was very nice to see these relationships that we've been missing come back. And I really hope DC does a lot more with this going forward with Rebirth. This is, I believe, the 4th title I've reviewed of the new #1 specials coming out with. So, for the most part, I'm very excited about all 4 of them. Green Arrow, especially. I like the direction that most of the books look to be going in. I can't wait for to see the actual number ones. In 2 weeks, on June 15th, is when Green Arrow number one proper comes out. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll probably be good for this series for at least the first story arc. I know, again, from that DC All Access video, I know the first storyline is going to be at least 5 issues long, and it's going to be introducing a Court of Owls-esque group to Oliver Queen, which will probably get him back down to way more of a street level in his Oliver Queen life, I'm assuming. So be on the lookout for that. And let me know what you guys think. Did you like this issue? Do you think this is a return to form for the Emerald Archer? Are you looking forward to more appearances of Black Canary in this book and the hopefully rekindled relationship between Green Arrow and Black Canary? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, we're coming out with reviews weekly. So be on the lookout for future content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.